So hi, my name is Catherinerose. I am the board chair for RLabs Tanzania and also the East Africa board representative for AfriLabs. So when I think about the Tanzanian innovation ecosystem, I think back to when we first started as Kinu in 2010. There were few, and I think of it as maybe seeds that were being planted. So we were less than a handful of stakeholders during that time in that space. And we opted to throw some seeds into the ground and start to, and over time, those seeds have been watered and this garden has grown and has begun to flourish. So it's diverse and it's green and it's lush and it has so much potential. And so when I think about the trajectory over the last few years, I see incredible growth, but not growth from people, growth from communities, growth from stakeholders. And I think I think the self-sustaining momentum that we've built is because the stakeholders have continued to nurture these seeds and these plants and these flowers and to nurture this diversity that we want in our ecosystem. So I see that our ecosystem our coordination has strengthened. What we're seeing is clear alignment between hubs. We're seeing clear alignment between investors, government, private sector, public sector entities. And this is creating a more functional ecosystem. We have stakeholders that are able to now bring together kind of groups and communities. We have the Tanzania Hub Network, we have the Tanzania Startup Association that have been able to convene larger groups of people to really drive policy changes forward, drive kind of the ecosystem forward. We're seeing a pipeline emerging, moving beyond ideas to a growing base of ventures that are launching, that are surviving, and in some cases scaling. So I think of some of the ventures that have scaled beyond our borders, that's really exciting. And even some that have scaled internally within the country. I think of Dawa Mkononi, I think of East Africa Foods, I think of Ubongo Kids, I think of Nala. And I think it's really exciting to be able to see how far we've come as an ecosystem and a community by seeing what these businesses are able to do. Capital is becoming increasingly available. It may be uneven, but if I look at how much capital is flowing into the country now and the potential and capacity, 10 years ago, it was a very different landscape. And I feel like now Tanzania is on the investor radar and deal flow is going to be more consistent. I think the fourth thing is government engagement has improved. We've seen a lot of government engagement and a lot of partnerships. There's been a huge shift towards more supportive policies, dialogue, and even regulatory experimentation. And I think the movement feels, and I'm calling it a movement because I think our innovation ecosystem it's been like a wave. There's a big wave and then we have a little wave and maybe a big wave again. And we're constantly learning and iterating through. And so I think we're no longer dependent on a handful of actors. And we have enough feedback and activity, I think, to have feedback loops and to continue to sustain growth. As the board representative for East Africa, for AfriLabs, I think one of the things that I'm continuously thinking about is, and I want to be really conscious and intentional about, is that East Africa is a large expanse of land with several countries and an incredible diversity. And so when I think about the doors that I want to open up and the opportunities that I want to be able to bring to these communities and to the hubs within my region, I really want to be able to bring diverse opportunities, interesting opportunities. I want to be able to not just link hubs and entrepreneurs to opportunities beyond the continent, but I think there's so much richness on our continent and there are markets that we have yet to explore. And so I'm hoping that in my role, which I really do feel like my role is a support role, to support hubs, to support entrepreneurs. My role is a role to walk alongside and to open doors. So I'm really hoping that in my role, what I'm able to do is to connect people to opportunities, or to connect opportunities to people, and to be able to understand and to recognize continuously that there is richness in the diversity between our hubs, between our communities across East Africa, and also between our countries. So I think for me, I don't see it as a challenge at all. I see this as an incredible opportunity to harness human capital in an unprecedented way that does not exist for any other continent in the world, to be honest. And I think that's our superpower as AfriLabs, that's our superpower within East Africa, is this incredible potential that we have access to, that we need to be able to guide, we need to be able to harness, and we need to be able to drive our continent forward. So I don't see it as a challenge. I don't see our booming youth population as a challenge. What I do feel may be a challenge is we haven't fully yet grasped on how to drive that forward. And we haven't fully yet grasped on how we unlock this potential. And that's why I think organizations within and not just AfriLabs East Africa, but the hubs across the continent in the AfriLabs community are able to find all these fascinating ways to unlock potential, whether it's in the agriculture sector or in the health sector, whether it's in civil society, whether it's in the creative sector, whether we're looking at North Africa, Central Africa, East Africa, Southern Africa. What hubs are doing exceptionally well is building these support systems that enable young people to step into a space and be seen and learn and grow and contribute. And that's the harnessing of that human capital that is the opportunity, I think, and the lens we need to use when we think about our booming youth population. So I think in 5 years, what the startup ecosystem is going to look like is going to be, I think we're going to see more women in leadership, we're going to see more female founders, we're going to see more women in strategic roles, and that's because we've been so intentional the last few years across the continent about having more female-focused, female-led programming, more financing going towards female leadership and female startups and founders. So I feel like in 5 years, we're not going to be talking about how many women are in the innovation space or in the ecosystem. We're going to be seeing more parity in that space unequivocally. In the next 5 years, I think we're going to see more systemic and deeper changes, and we're going to see deeply entrenched roots into building solutions, creating products that meet the needs of people. Will we have an app? Yes, we will, because as we move across, as we think about the digital uptake across our continent, right, and how many more young people we have on our continent, we're also talking about digital literacy, we're talking about artificial intelligence. We have young people using these tools. And so I do think there will be apps still, but there will also be more people that will need to use an app to make their life more efficient and more productive. So I think it's a two-way, I think it's about balancing. Those deeper, we need the deeper systemic solutions, but maybe an app is a way to enable that happening. So I truly believe that the way I see the world is people, ideas, and then technology. And for me, technology is an enabler, but we put people at the center of what we do. And I feel like we're going to be seeing more of that in the next 5 years. I think we're going to be seeing more deal flow into our continent in the next 5 years. And I think I would like to believe that along with that there will be trust built by the VC community around African products, African grown products, and African founders.